All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of Deerassic at Home. Today, I'm going to try and read another book to you guys, and it is called Whose Track Is That? So, very similar to the book that I read before called Whose Butt. And we've talked about tracks before. Some of the tracks we're going to see in this book are the same ones that we talked about before. Some of them are going to be different. But very similar to the other book, it's going to go through, show you a picture of an animal track, give you some hints as to what animal it might be, and then you guys got to help me figure out whose track is that. You guys want to help me? All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, whose track is that? It's a photographer. I love taking pictures of animals, but it's not always easy. Sometimes I can't find the animals. When this happens, I only get pictures of their tracks. So here's a picture of the photographer's tracks, his footprints. All right, here's the first one. This animal's track is long and skinny and might loop or curl about. Sometimes it's a straight line. Whose track is that? Hint, you might see a robin pull one from your lawn. Okay, so whatever made this track, a robin, a little bird, will pull one from your yard. Anybody got any ideas? It's an earthworm. Earthworms usually live underground, but they often come out when it rains. Even though they don't have any bones or a hard outer covering like insects, worms are strong enough to burrow into the soil and leave tracks. All right, here's the next one. Pointed on one end and rounded on the other, this track is heart-shaped. This animal's hooves are extra hard and make deep tracks in the mud. Whose track is that? Hint, you might see this large animal running through fields or parks. Anybody got any ideas? It's a deer. The white-tailed deer is the most common large animal in America. Male deer, known as bucks, grow a new set of antlers every year. In late winter, the antlers fall off. Mice and voles love to chew on old antlers, but sometimes you can find them in fields. Okay, here's the next one. Small and round, my tracks are not easy to spot. My claws don't stick out, so my tracks don't leave claw marks in the mud or snow. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal looks like a large house cat. Any ideas? It's a bobcat. Bobcats are small cats not much larger than a house cat. They are found in a wide variety of habitats from forest to wetlands. When a bobcat walks, its back feet step directly in the tracks of its front feet, making it look like it only leaves a single line of tracks. This animal's front paws look like a person's hands with 5 fingers. It sometimes even dunks its food in water. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal has black rings around its tail. We've talked about this animal before. You guys know what it is? It's a raccoon. The northern raccoon is also called the common raccoon. It has a cute black mask around its eyes that makes it look like a bank robber in a cartoon. Raccoons often live near people because we throw a lot of food into the garbage where raccoons can find it. This animal's feet are good for walking and even better for swimming. Its toes are connected by webbing. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal has feathers and honks. Big hint there at the end. It honks. What do you guys think? It's a Canada goose. The Canada goose lives in large families. The male and female lead the babies around, so you might find a lot of tracks. When it walks on land, it waddles because its big feet get in the way. All right, this animal has large round feet with long sharp claws. Its tracks are bigger than your hand. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal loves to eat honey, berries, and bugs. Any ideas? It's a bear. The American black bear is the most common bear in America. Bears have long, sharp claws, and you can see claw marks in its tracks. Large male bears also often mark trees by using their teeth or claws. This helps it communicate with other bears and shows other bears how big and strong it is. These tracks are small and oval, and they often show this animal's nails. You might see these tracks in your yard, at a park, or at the beach. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal might live in your house. What do you think? It's a dog! Dogs are closely related to the gray wolf, and they started living with people at least 20,000 years ago. There are many different kinds of dogs. Finding dog prints is easy at parks and in backyards. If it's muddy outside, your dog might even make tracks inside. Oh, that's no good. This animal's front paw track is tiny compared to its huge back foot. Its large flat tail leaves a track too. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal has large front teeth. What do you guys think? Talked about this one before. It's a beaver. The North American beaver constructs special structures called dams, creating a small pond where its family can live. It spends a lot of time in the water, so look for tracks near streams and rivers. You can see this animal's tracks when it migrates back home. Its tracks are tiny and thin, which can make them hard to see. Whose track is that? Hint, this animal often runs for short distances before stopping to look for worms. It's a robin. When an American robin runs across your lawn and turns its head, it's not listening for worms. Instead, it's looking for them, as its eyes are located on the side of its head. When this animal runs, it's more like hopping, with its feet side by side. Sometimes, just for fun, it slides on its belly instead of running. Whose track is that? Hint, this furry animal likes to have fun and play. It's an otter. In winter, river otters often like to have fun by sliding down snowy hills on their bellies, just like kids going sledding. Otters don't stay in one place for very long, instead running and jumping along the edges of streams and lakes. Its tracks are always near water, so look in mud or snow along rivers and streams. This animal's back feet are huge, helping it jump very far. If it sits on a lily pad, you can't see its tracks at all. Whose track is that? Hint, when it leaps, sometimes it splashes into the water. What do you think? It's a bullfrog. The American bullfrog is the largest frog in North America. It can be bigger than a dinner plate. A bullfrog's front toes are not webbed, but the back toes are. And they taste good on your dinner plate too. The end. All right, guys. That's all I have for today. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.